Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, or whatever time of day you're listening to this. Welcome back to Dad Tales Podcast. I am Leon, father to Ava who is 7 and Noah who is 5.
And my name's Andy and I'm a dad to 3 girls, Ellie who's 21, Lexi who's 15 and Andie who's 8. So together we're going to take a light-hearted look at parenting from a dad's point of view. We hope you enjoy. Leon, it's Thursday. You know what that means?
Happy Dad Tales Day.
Happy Dad Tales Day to you, Leon. How the heck has you?
I am good. I am hecking good.
Hecking good. Brilliant. How's your hecking week been?
Good. We've had the big news. The big homeschool is over. Yes.
Well, we've got. Oh yes, by the time this goes out, it will be over, won't it?
Yeah. So when this goes out, I'm on the home straight. 2 days to go in it. The day that people are listening, and the next. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it's needed, isn't it?
It's needed more for them than it is for me. Like as much frustrating as I'm getting with these kids and homeschooling, and they just need some sort of continuity, some sort of routine, and get back to see the friends. That's what mine have missed, the friends, big time.
Are yours keen to get back then?
One is, one isn't. Ava goes to bed like giddy as a kipper, like, oh, going back to school, yeah. Noah's like, oh, going back to school. But he does want to go. He's just nervous about going. He says he's nervous about going to school. I think it's just the fact that he's not been for so long that he's not like forgot what that happens. It's like your first day jitters, isn't it? You know, you got to do something new for the first time. I think it's that sort of thing in him. Once he's in there and he's off, he'll be all right. Because today we're talking about some of his friends that he's like Liam and that he's missed and stuff that he wants to hang about with and that. So, like I say, it's just, I think, chuck him in, off he goes. He'll be fine.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like a lot of things, because they haven't been to school this year. So in theory, they've not been to school since, when did they break up? 18th of December. It's a long time. And I think we obviously talked earlier and we said like this situation of being like indoors is becoming the norm. So the new things that we sort of used to is we're going to try and get back used to it. That's brilliant English, but you know what I mean?
I know exactly what I mean, because like mine, I'd say if you said to me, describe your kids as are they indoors or outdoors, I'd have always said outdoorsy, i.e. it's no hassle to get them out to go for a walk. It's no hassle to say let's go for a bike ride or go in the garden and do something or kick a ball around. But this lockdown has completely changed that massively. It's such an effort to get them to go out because they don't want to go out because it's cold and wet, but it's the fact that we can't go out to go do anything. So it's like reinforced they don't want to go out. Whereas at least when it was warm, it was enjoyable to go for a walk for them. It was enjoyable to go to the park because you could run around because it was nice and warm in the sun, but this one's been awful. But anyway, we don't want to talk about that.
We've been positive. We've been positive. That's what we said. New Year's was going to be positive. Let's do it.
Defo, mate. Defo.
Speaking of being positive, I want to talk to you this week about good things.
Good things?
Good things. Not only good things, but the best things.
The best things? Do you mean the world's best things?
I want to talk to you about the 3 best things in the world. To be fair, there's 2 of us here.
So the third one, wonder what it is.
Fun. Yeah. So we've asked our kids this week, what are the 3 best things in the world? How did you go?
Well, all right. It was like pulling teeth to start with because I said to Noah, what's the 3 best things in the world? And he went, you, Mum, and Ava. And I was like, right, okay, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. And my heart's just melted. But I need some a bit more substance. So you can't pick people. Because I thought if I said they can't pick us 3, I'll go Grandma or Auntie Becky. So I was like, right, you can't pick people. What's your 3 best things ever? And I bet you can guess one of them. And I'll put that up to the listeners. Can you all hear it? Oh, they're all shouting back at me. It is
Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, straight off there. Boom! Pokemon's in the house again.
Good. Week 3, Pokemon.
Yeah. So, Pokemon straight off the bat. And I've asked him pretty much every answer they give me, I want to know why. Whereas that one, I'm like, I don't need to know why. Everyone knows why we love Pokemon because Pokemon's amazing. So let's pop that on the wall. We're having it. Number 2 for Noah was his friends. Now I thought we can't pick people. I've just said this, but I thought I'll let it slide through in the fact that he then linked it back to school friends and he's missing school and the playing with friends and stuff like that, which is what I mentioned earlier on. He then started talking about his friends and stuff. And did you ever play imaginary football?
What, like football without a ball?
Yeah. So he said, "Oh, we get to play imaginary football. I scored loads of goals when we play imaginary football." I was like, And do you know what came to my head? I've seen Mike Bassett, England manager, when he forgets the footballs. They're doing the drill. It was like that. Me and him stood at landing. I'm like, there's no top of me and I'm scoring goals for fun. I did over a kick and everything kept landing. I was amazing up there. But it just reminded me of that.
When I was a kid, I used to play imaginary wrestling.
Imaginary wrestling? What?
Yeah.
Was it just you versus an invisible person?
Yeah, pretty much. And I'll be honest, I always won. Most of the time.
I'm not surprised. So was you like pretending to like put a crippler crossface on someone or a Boston crab and stuff? Were you pretending to do all that?
Pretty much, yeah. And we had like a little wall in our garden. So that was like the top turnbuckle. So I'd jump off that onto grass and flying elbow somebody or something like that. And I think back now and I think if somebody must have saw me doing that, I thought, man, this kid can proper dance.
Back garden. See, when I used to do wrestling, it was with my nephew. So there's like 10 years between us. So when I was like 14, obviously we were 4, and we used to proper go for like a proper rumble. And I'd be like choke slamming and everything, proper slamming around and stuff on bed. It was absolutely quality. I always won that. But then he started to get big, so he started to beat me up a bit.
Good times.
Good times.
So what was Noah's final one?
His final one, he said, this is his best thing, and it's the best thing in the world. He said, football. And I was like, yeah, kid, that'll do for me. And this week has been a big, massive turn for us because although he loves playing football, to get him to sit and watch football, it's just a nightmare because he's not really affiliated to a team. So when we put football in, it's like Chelsea, Man U, or all like that, he's like, I'm going to pick Chelsea. I'm going to pick. So his favourite colour is red. But when we watched Chelsea, Man U, it was like, I'm going to go with Chelsea because I prefer blue right now. So it was just on the colour, nothing to do with the team like that. And I was like, I like this quiet tactic. But I got him to sit there for the whole of the first half, and me and him were just watching football. And I'm like, I love this because this is like in the last week, we've managed to make inroads into him actually watching football. And I get to talk to him about, look, all the players that run after the ball at once, they're creating space, they're opening the game up, they're passing the ball around. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then he said something, and I was like, I can't think off the word it was. And I was like, he gets it. He understands football. But I bet you any money, it goes to the pack, it goes screaming after that ball, not give anyone any space. But I was like, yeah. Something's just clicked. Do you know what I mean? I was like, this is good. This is what it's all about, football. So football's on his as one of the greatest things.
And how did that make you feel?
Oh, amazing, mate. Because like I say, it's one of the things where I've not really been able to watch football for years because Amy don't mind football, but she's never really going to watch it. We're one TV household. So it's one of those things where I've just lost the TV for the last, 8 years because Eva's same. She's never really clicked or connected with football. She loves playing football, but she's always been the same, never to sit and watch it. Whereas this last week, it's like, I might have a new football buddy. And if there's 2 of us versus 2 more, I'm tougher than Amy. Noah's tougher than Eva. We're going to win that way.
I know full well that them 2 are way tougher than you 2.
Shh, we live in belief. We'll do some fake wrestling.
Yeah, girls are definitely winning your house. Right, so Andie, when I asked Andie, I kind of knew what she was going to say. What I did with mine, so just to sort of, I wanted a quick answer. I didn't really want them to think about it too much. I kind of just wanted them to say what they thought at that moment in time was at the sort of on their mind of really good things, because, like you say, it's quite easy to go down the route of I like my mum, like my dad, like my grandma, my granny, and stuff. So I was kind of thinking, no, let's just not give them a chance to think about it. Let's just get straight on it. And what 3 things are the best things in the world? And I mean, to be fair, we just had Sunday dinner, and not one of them said Sunday dinner.
It's because you cooked it.
I burnt my Yorkshire puddings as well, by the way.
Oh, that's sacrilegious. Proper Yorkshireman burns his Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, do you know why I burnt my Yorkshire puddings?
Was it me talking to you? Was it me?
Yeah. My Yorkshire puddings, when we did our review last week before, there was missing something, Andie said. My Yorkshire puddings this week were absolutely spot on. Just the problem was they had just had a crispy top.
So when I said, "Oh, it smells really nice," that was your Yorkshire pudding's burning.
That was my Yorkshire pudding's burning. Yeah.
It must have been proper burning because if I could smell them all the way through out of the front door and halfway down the street where I stood, they're proper on fire then.
Yeah, it was the barbecue coming from my oven. Right. So Andie said, she said Roblox, Harry Potter, and me. And when I say me, she means her. But she got that. You'll see why I say she's got that. And then I was asking her, because I know she loves Roblox. And for anybody out there that's a parent to a child that's got Roblox, it's absolutely crackers. Absolutely mayhem it is. I was watching a game played today, and they go around this town. It's called Brookhaven. And Lexi was playing it because she plays it with Andie. And she's just like robbing banks and stuff. It's like preschool Grand Theft Auto.
I'm going to say this because
it's proper bonkers, but they're the kind of things she loves. And we've said this many a times, that what they find is that they give answers based on what they're doing right at that moment in time. But I thought if I give them too much time to think about it, it becomes a little bit unrealistic. So I kind of wanted them just to kind of hit me with an answer there and then.
Nice.
So I say that Andie said me is because I'd already asked Lexi and I wrote Lexi's answers down. And Lexi's first answer was me. And again, that's not me, that's her. She was saying she's the best thing. And again, this comes completely however you interpret it. So the best things in the world, if you're not necessarily considering yourself the best thing in the world, how do you then be the best? Do you know what I mean? Be the best person, be the best person for people around you, enjoy the best things. So I think we've always said this all along, you know, you've got to look after yourself first, I suppose.
Yeah. Which is true.
Yeah. Lexi's second one was technology because, well, she's never off it. I think that's the day and age now when everybody's on a bit of technology. And a third one, brilliant, food.
Food, oh, nice.
I mean, let's be fair. Food is a brilliant answer because when you think, it makes us feel good, doesn't it, food? Doesn't matter what you are. We obviously need it to survive, but you have something nice and it just makes you feel good. You go out for something to eat, have something nice to eat, have a nice experience, and it just kind of perks you up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Have you ever met those people that only eat to survive and they don't have any enjoyment from food?
I think I've seen them before on like TV documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've come across one at work, but I won't say who it was. And they have no enjoyment of food. They just eat to survive. And it's like, in a way, I'd love to be like that because my biggest downfall is I eat. I eat when I'm happy. I eat when I'm down. I eat like all the time. I just love food. Whereas I'd love to be in a process where eat to survive because that's how it's designed, isn't it? And there's no like emotion attached to food. It's okay, I've not eaten for a couple of hours. I naturally should have something to eat. And even when they eat really healthy and that. So it'd be a case of like they won't eat sweets and that, they won't eat chocolate because there's no like emotion attached there. When I say they won't eat, it's not as if like, ooh, no, it's like I'm not really fussed. So, but they'll go out places and they'll eat like proper meals and stuff. But it's the case of that they'll go, oh, it's mid-morning. I feel a bit tired. I'll have banana to get my energy back up. And that's the process of what I'm thinking. I'd love to be like that. Genuinely love to be like that. I know there's a sort of balance of we do it because it's got a lot of pleasure to it and stuff like that, and we eat and stuff. But there's got to be a good side to it. You just eating to survive.
Yeah, I just think that my life, I think, revolves around food a lot.
Same.
You know, I'll have breakfast and I'm thinking, what am I having for dinner? I'm having dinner and I'm thinking, what am I having for tea? Whilst I'm having tea, I'm thinking, what am I going to have for the rest of the week?
Yeah, well, we're same. We sit at dinner table, we sit at dinner table eating, and we're going, what are we having tomorrow night? What should we have thinking now? Oh, should we have chicken this week? Should we have? And it's like, how about we should enjoy what we're eating right now instead of thinking about what the next thing is and stuff like that. It's crackers. Honestly, it's absolutely crackers how foods just become such an emotional driver.
I mean, I love cream crackers as well.
Yeah. Oh, I love cracker. I love a dry cracker.
I like mine not dry.
I love going in the cupboard and just Eating a cracker. I love a cracker.
That's quote of the week.
What?
I love a cracker.
I do.
We find that, or certainly I find that when we're talking on these pods, that we get talking about food an awful lot.
Yeah.
Bizarre. But yeah, I just think food, a little bit like music, is linked to emotions, I think. You know, you remember maybe a certain time where you've had something, or, you know, it brings back memories. And I just think that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it one iota. I just think if I could detach myself away from the emotion side of thing, I'd probably do better with my weight. Wouldn't you agree? Like, because like, I don't know if you're the same. Like, if you're happy, I'm like, go on, I'll have something to eat. 'Cause I'm a bit. Like, do you ever eat and dance? Like, you eat something so nice, you're like, this tastes so good, dancing around.
I don't think I do. My cooking can't be that good.
I do. Especially if I'm eating like pizza or lasagna or something. I've stood up and I'm like, yeah, this is brilliant.
Do you know what, though? Over the times that we've been places, seeing you eat makes me happy.
Oh, man, I'm a proper eater.
Yeah, I think we could probably tell a fair few stories of times we've had food-related fun, should we say.
Yeah. The best was that Shen.
Shen kebab.
But anyway, that's for another podcast.
That's probably for a late night podcast.
So my other child, her 3 favourite things. In at number 1, tell me.
Pokemon.
Yep. So same as thingy. But she did say it's a close run with sister. So for TV and stuff, because once again, I'd probably had 3 TV programs like Victorious and Sam and Cat. Have you ever watched them?
Yeah.
God, man, they make my ears they're terrible. But I suppose there only are versions of Sister and Keaton and Kel, like the new versions of them. My parents must watch that and go, what is this kid watching? But anyway, right, so we had Pokemon as the first one, did Ava. In at number 2 was school. And she came straight off the bat and I said, why school? And she was like, well, I absolutely love going to school. And it won't just because of the friends and stuff like that. She's the whole thing of school she loves, from the learning, doing the different things, seeing the teachers, playing in the playground with friends and stuff like that. She says she just loves school from the start of the day to the end of the day. She absolutely loves school. I was like, that's pretty cool. She enjoys it.
I think as long as you can keep that as long as possible.
Yeah, I always loved school, me. There was never any hassle of me going to school. I just wasn't very good at it. I enjoyed my friends at school. I had a good laugh at school. My teachers liked me. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't as if I was in trouble all the time. Yes, I was a bit of a rogue at times, but I genuinely enjoyed school. It was like, you don't realize how good school was until you've left. I'm pleased that she likes school very much like me. I mean, just the fun social side of it. Just don't want to be on her own, really. As in, like, and I wasn't an only child, but my brother and sister were a lot older than me. So I grew up like an only child. So for me, I needed school or else I'd be in house on my own. I didn't have a sibling, to wrestle with and stuff like that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was the same. Certainly primary school as well. It was just a good place to be.
Oh, yeah. Magical primary school, wasn't it? You didn't get it wrong in primary school because everyone was in the same boat. We all sponges that don't know now, and it all goes in and absorbs, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
My biggest regret with school is I didn't focus on language properly, and I wish I had done, because I do regret not trying a little bit harder with a language.
Like English.
But there is that. But, I mean, I found like French and German so hard. I don't know if I said German because I wasn't good enough in French to even do German, so I didn't even mutter one German word when I was at school.
Yeah, I struggled at high school just because I didn't really understand learning styles, and if I didn't understand something, I switched off. And in a group, and I'm sure it's the same now. If you're good in a class, you get given more work. If you're not so good in a class, you get helped. But if you sort of sit around the middle, you kind of just coast, and that's all I did. I was never pushed. I don't believe I was. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't the best student. I certainly didn't help my teachers out an awful lot, but I think in turn, they didn't help me out either. So it's such an important part of life as well. Like you say, for growing up, for like just making friends and just learning all them other skills and things. I think school's really important. It's a good one to have on a list. That.
Yeah. I think as well, what I enjoy about school is there's going to be hardships when it comes to school as well, because you never keep all the same friends and you fall out of friends. And I think that's a good learning curve for school. That you do fall out with people, you do go into other circles and stuff like that, because that gets you ready for the big wide world where not everything's rosy. Because in primary school, everyone's your friend, isn't it? There's not really that much, I want to say, bitchiness going on and stuff like that. Everyone's just friendly, aren't they? When you get to the high school and stuff, it gets a bit meaner and a bit tougher, and that's, I suppose, a life lesson to be learning to be. I suppose it's way tougher now because of technology. Because, like I said, when I went home. Do you know what I mean? You didn't talk to anyone really, did you? Whereas now, man, you're just glued into it all. So I bet that's tough going.
Yeah. And meeting like kids from other schools and stuff like that, it's getting that blend in it when you've kind of got your comfort, haven't you, of the kids that are in your year. I mean, especially if you go to a small school, you'll be in a year group. It might be 2 year groups mixed together of maybe 15 kids. Then you suddenly thrust into a high school where then 15 might become 7 or 8 because of how you split with high schools. You don't know anybody there, so it's strange dimensions, really, isn't it, when you think about that? We should maybe have an episode just on transition of schools.
Yeah, no, like that, yeah. I went to a all Catholic school, so when we came in, like you went to the local high school, didn't you? So like everyone from the local schools went to the local high school. Whereas I went to one that brought people in from Thorn, Selby, Howden, Goole. Everyone just came in from everywhere because it was like a Catholic school. So it was a proper, I want to say diversity. It was all like, same areas. It wasn't like someone coming from Africa, one coming from Australia.
A group of dancers that do backflips and stuff.
Yeah. That nearly went off my head. Nearly.
That'd have been brilliant. I'd love to go to school with diversity. It's like, oh, where's Perry today? Boing, boing, boing. Oh, there he is. He just backflipped into his chair.
Oh man. But yeah, so let's put that down. We'll do a school transition and talk about how our transitions were from primary to secondary.
It works the other way as well, doesn't it? Because obviously, like Lexi at the moment is going to go to college, and obviously Ellie's gone through the whole lot right up to university as well. So, and then, it'd be nice to think what maybe Andie and Ava's thoughts are on, because they've only got like a couple of years left at primary school before they have to start looking at high school and stuff. So it'd be interesting to see what they think. We'll do that.
Yeah, good stuff. And then Ava's third one was nature. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was like. I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, nature. I was like, right, nature's too broad. I want to know the context of why you said nature. She's like, oh, because I like flowers. I like animals and stuff like that. And I like to see how they develop and grow. I thought she was going to say evolve like in Pokemon, but she didn't, because when she was like, I want to watch animals and change and stuff. I was like, oh, right. So yeah, just in general, the life cycle of animals and flowers and stuff like that, I was like, wow, it's quite in tune with the great. Could be next Etta Thunberg or whatever her name is. Have I said that right? I said that right, have I? So that came out
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, that ain't right.
I would have much rather you gone like David Attenborough or something like that.
Yeah, but she's topical, isn't she? So topical, I don't know her name.
Exactly. I mean, Ava's always so forward thinking, I think. She's always more mature than her years and thinking about things like that. I mean, it's not just then about, I like flowers, they're pretty. Actually, I like to see them grow and move and change. And
yeah. Well, once again, it all comes back to what we're doing is what sort of answer you get. So we've got some seeds, sunflower seeds that are ready to plant and stuff like that. So it's not naturally that she's thinking those sort of things. But once again, it goes back to what we're doing has an effect on what sort of answers we get. So I do know where that sort of come from. And also we talk about the Pokemon, the evolution, and we talk about how those Pokemons are very much like real animals. So there's certain ones that are like dogs, cats. And we talk about them and then how they're related to the real. So once again, it's going back to, it's not forced on her, but obviously they're just things we're talking about in general. So it's not as if she's I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to think like she's like Einstein, in college, like working equations and working things out and seeing the world from a different perspective.
Well, that's what Greta Humbug does, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think she invented the mint.
I'm just about to say I prefer Christmas, which is bar humbug. But you beat me in there.
Right, I'll go with Ellie. Ellie's final one for her top three. So again, I messaged Ellie and just said, what are the three best things in the world? And as always, Ellie always needs more information.
I love the fact that she wants to know more. Like, it's like you're trying to catch her out, and she says something, you go, "Oh, I can't believe you said that."
I think she must be thinking that, like 47 million people listen to this, and if she gives a wrong answer, she's going to look like a wally. Yeah. And she knows full well that we only get 46 million people listen to it.
46 and a half. Don't lose out on 500,000
46 and a half, week by week. So I said to her, look, however you want to interpret this question is just however you want to do it. So she's gone with family, friends, and traveling. And again, I'm quite happy that she's just kind of thinking, at this moment in time, the three most important things to me are those. And I'd say, when I say traveling, she's only 21, so she's not done a massive amount of traveling. She's done holidays and things like that, and she's gone to some really, really nice places. But I think on a to-do list, before she sort of gets into the real world, is to do some traveling. And I'm such an advocate. I'm really, really hoping she does that and just gets out and sees things. Even if it's just a few months, just go, do it, see the world. And if she does that with either family or friends, then even better.
I think it's now more open for people to go traveling than it ever has been. Like when we was like 18, 19, 20, yeah, you could go traveling, but it wasn't really a big thing to do because I don't think it was accessible, was it really, as much as it is now? I think the world's become such a smaller place, or it's far easier. And I know we've got a pandemic in the middle of all this, so everyone's staying put at the moment, but I just think it's so much easier to get to Bangkok and do a month in there, or go to Australia and do a month there. I just think the world's become a bit more enclosed in
accessible, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think if I'd have gone traveling, even at 21, and bearing in mind when I was 21, Ellie was sort of 3. So I had a 3-year-old, but even going then at 21, I would have been terrible because I'd have just got somewhere. I'd have got on a plane, got somewhere. I'd have got lost, and you'd have never seen me again.
Yeah, I'd have been the same because I need a plan of action of what I'm going to do. So, like, do you know these people who go, right, I'll just get a jump on a plane to Australia and I'll do a month and I'll get a job when I get out there. I'm like, no, when I get there, I need to know where I'm working. I need to know what I'm doing. I need to know where I'm going to be sleeping. I need to know how I'm going to be doing from day to day. And I get there and go, I can't find a job. I'm coming home. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like that sort of thing. Like, I'm going to go.
Yeah, where am I eating?
Yeah, definitely. The airport, the plane, the other side of the airport.
Yeah. So I think they're all really, really good answers. Like I say, I think we could ask this again in 6 months' time and have completely different answers. And I think that's the good thing.
I can ask you tomorrow. I could go wake them up right now, ask them, and I get 3 different answers.
Go do it. Go on.
No, because one will start crying no matter.
Yeah. 3 best things in the world. Dad, sleep.
Yeah. You eating. Going away.
Biscuits.
Biscuits would be quite high up on my agenda.
Yeah. Speaking of your agenda, what are your best 3 things?
So mine are going on holiday. I work to go away as my like respite. I like to go to different places and stuff like that. So that's definitely one of my big favourite things that I enjoy doing. Number 2, I would say, is the family. I know I told the kids couldn't do it, but once again, it's why we go to work, innit? Go to work so we can do them sort of things. And then my 3rd best thing in the world has got to be doing sport, something active. If you'd have asked me this, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, I said doing triathlons. Prior to that, you asked me, I'd been playing football, playing golf. Do you know what I mean? I like to be active, and that's where my mind is probably its best, when I'm doing some sort of physical exercise, clearing my mind, and then I function a lot better. So that's probably one of the best things, some sort of exercise. And it can be, I'll go play squash. I'll go play badminton. I'll do whatever I need to do as long as it's something physically active. That's my cup of tea.
Kabaddi.
I play kabaddi.
Can we start a kabaddi club?
I played kabaddi once. Genuinely. I was at someone's house, and one of the local doctors was like teaching us how to play it and was playing it like on like do you know the Miramav Green? So we were running onto there and was like kabaddi, like taking each of it. It was brilliant.
Because you like old hands, don't you?
Yeah.
Defending team old hands run round.
Yeah, it's like take each other, but you got you got to hold your breath. But if you keep saying kabaddi, then you're not obviously like it's like a form of holding your breath. It was quality. I enjoyed it. It was good. I don't think we got the full rundown of the whole physical rules and stuff, but we was all like just running around the Miramav Green. It was pretty much a game of tig.
You wouldn't be able to do that now, would you, with social distancing?
You couldn't do it, obviously, with COVID. To be fair, if because he didn't have any kids with him, we were just all playing on green. He came out and just started talking to us. You can't do that anymore, either, can you? Even though he's a local doctor, you can't do that anymore.
Not at all. Not without signing a register.
Yeah, I know. The world's changed.
We'll start a kabaddi club in 2023 when all this has passed over.
Let's do it.
Right. So I've actually made 2 lists.
2 lists? Greedy.
I've made 2 lists because I made my first list and I thought, well, this is getting a bit deep, this. So then I made a second list. So I'll go through my deep list first, and then I'll go through my absolutely shallow list.
Hang on, if I'm not on your deep list or I'm in tears, there's going to be trouble here.
Well, so I'll go number 3 first. So I'd originally put the sun because I just think the sunshine makes you feel nice, doesn't it? Makes you feel
I was going to say, what, that one with red band across top that we read in the morning?
The sun, I've got 3 doors. So I'd originally put that, but I bumped that out for laughing because you're never in a position where you're laughing and you're not happy. And laughing does just make you feel better. If whoever you're with, whatever you're doing, whatever you're watching, if you're laughing, your spirits are quite high. So to me, that's good. And if I've got people around me, and if for 1 second I can make somebody laugh, and that's literally what it is, 1 second, then that's a good thing. I like it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Laughing is the business. You're right. You're never not happy when you're laughing because that's why the point in laughing, isn't it?
Exactly. And it just makes you feel good, and it makes people around you feel good. It's quite infectious as well, in a good way. So my second one, this is a little bit like Ava's. It's just to stop. So I think sometimes you just need to stop what you're doing, where you are, have a look around and just sort of kind of take it all in. You know, what we've done over the last year is go for a walk and a walk and a walk. And when you can go somewhere nice, and I know this is probably where you slightly disagree with me, but I don't mind walking up a big hill and I'll have a look round and I'll have a breathe and I'll just think, yeah, do you know what? This is just nice, just to stop here without all the hustle and bustle of everyday life. You don't have to think about paying your bills. You don't have to think about, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday coming up. All that stuff's gone out the window just to take that moment and just go, ah. And my final one is good people at the right time. So what I mean by that is we all have different sort of networks of friends and people that we like to engage with. Sometimes you just need that right person there. Once you've got that right person there at that right time, it just fits, doesn't it? You know, that could be just spending some time with your mum or your dad or your sister or your wife or your partner or whatever, or just being there sometimes with your kids. Or it might be a friend, it might just be somebody that you've not seen for a while, but when it just fits and you're just in a moment with the right person at that right time, it just works.
Yeah.
I told you this was deep.
It is deep, mate. Very deep.
This is diving pool deep. Right, I'm not going to dwell on this because I'm going to go straight to my shallow puddle My other 3 were beer, bath bombs, and football.
Right, okay, I'm with you on 2 out of the 3 there. What? Bath bombs?
Yeah, do you not love a bath bomb?
No, I can't stand them.
Oh, man.
Honestly, I cannot stand them. One, they are so expensive. 2, I get out of bath and I'm like slip and slide. It's like I've got some sort of grease on my skin. I can't get it off. My towel's covered in glitter. I smell of potpourri. They're the worst thing in the world. The only good thing is when they're foaming, they're going, and that's about it. They don't last 2 seconds. They're the most overrated, expensive piece of in the world. My kids love them. I can't stand them.
They're brilliant, honestly. You're right, they are quite dear, but you have to buy expensive ones. If you buy cheap ones, they're a waste of time. Get a good one. They do men ones and they've got toys in the middle.
What sort of toys?
Like a boat. I've had a boat. I've had an action man.
How big? How big's a bath bomb?
They're big enough. Never buy a bath bomb with glitter. Men do not buy bath bombs with glitter because you're right, though. You get out and you just shine everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, but even if when kids have used it and I may have emptied the water, rinsed it, and then put fresh water in, there's more glitter on me than there was in the bath bomb somehow. And I've let the water go and everything. Yeah, I can't stand them. I honestly can't stand them. It's like, do you know, luxury soaps and stuff like that? Oh, man, don't get me going. The whole Lush shop.
Oh, I used to hate it, but I love it now. It's a proper treat. Maybe you're at a certain age and you just need to appreciate these things a bit more.
Even when I walk past the shop, I'm like, oh, God, because there's so many different smells coming out of the place. It's like my nose can't comprehend what's going on. Oh, man, awful, man. And the expense. I wish I got on the bath bomb thing 20 years ago because I've been making a mint right now.
You can get mint ones, but they're like cold on your bits.
Cold on your bits.
Yeah, it's like jumping in the freezer. Anyway, Leon, it's my review this week. I've done a review this week, and we had to because we've had a big birthday this week. So we've reviewed birthdays.
Nice.
So this is short, this is sweet. The sound isn't great, but you can certainly get a feel of what we talked about. And, well, I'll let them two talk about it. Here it is, birthday review week. Press my button. Right, so this week it only makes sense to review birthdays. So we've had a big birthday in the house this week. Lexi hit the big 16. How was your birthday?
Amazing. Mm-hmm.
Even though we're in lockdown?
Yeah, it was alright actually.
Do you think you just sort of come to terms with knowing that this is what it's going to be like?
Yeah, I kind of knew even last year I was going to be lockdown.
But then we can have a plan to do something later on in the year for Andy's birthday.
Yay!
So what would you expecting of your birthday this year? What was you expecting of becoming 16?
Nothing really.
We talked yesterday, didn't we, about things you can now do because you're 16, and you still don't know anything that you can do that you're 16 that you couldn't do. Strangely, the day before you were 16. So now you can buy lottery tickets. Cigarettes? Can you buy cigarettes at 16?
I think so.
Not that you're gonna.
No.
Piercings? Are you allowed to have piercings at 16 now? And is there something where you can drink alcohol in a pub with an adult as long as you're having a meal?
I'm not sure.
Again, not that you're going to do any of that. And we're now nearly a week after your birthday, which means there is less than 358. There's about 360 days till you can legally drive. That's a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's Lexi's plan? What did she tell you when she can drive? What's she going to do?
She's gonna take me to McDonald's like at midnight.
No idea why that's a thing, but apparently that's something.
Because it'll be fun. Because we can. If I can drive, then that's what we're going to do. What else would you do?
From 23rd of February next year, I'll be completely off the roads, just in case. No chance I'm going to be around if you're driving anywhere. What about your birthday, Andy? Looks like you're still going to be in a lockdown as well. Is there anything particular that you want to do?
I don't know, really. Because I was going to plan for my 8th birthday to have a pool party with leisure dinner, but I never got to do it.
No, because we've proper lockdown last May, won't we? So this May will be a little bit different, hopefully.
Let's get a couple more friends.
Yeah, maybe some friends round. Have homemade pizzas. What about getting a paddling pool?
Yeah, we've got a big paddling pool
Yeah.
at Mum's.
Yeah.
Massive.
It's not that big.
It's like the side of the table.
Not a very big table.
You could lay it down on this, could you?
Probably good.
Probably.
Probably.
So, what do you want for your birthday? You're going to hit 9.
No.
9, that's your last year in single digits.
Yeah.
And then when you're 10, you have a double-digit birthday.
Yeah. I kind of want like a new chef outfit, so I've just got like an apron and a hat. I don't have much.
A new chef's outfit.
Yeah.
How many times do I try and get you in the kitchen chefing with me? And
Never. I'm going to tell you that it's never.
we're big, don't we?
Yeah.
But is it because you don't bring your chef outfit? That you
Yeah.
don't so
I don't feel like a chef.
you could have peeled the potatoes for Sunday dinner.
Could have, but I didn't.
You could have, but you didn't want to.
Yeah.
So, what if it was a case of money, no object? What would you do for your birthday, Lexi?
I'm not sure. Probably go on holiday.
Private jet?
Yeah.
Somewhere hot?
Very hot.
What would you do, Andy? Straight to Australia, see Norris Nuts?
Maybe. Or either like go to snow vacation.
A snow what?
Like a snow place where there's snow and you sleep in a little cabin and when you wake up you see snow and snow.
That's no joke, that is it?
Yeah.
Right, so that's maybe one for later down the line then.
Mhm.
Right, thank you very much. Or should I say, thanks. Right, so that was our birthday review. Like, as Lexi said, it was a big 16 this week, which is a big birthday, I think. I think it's a good age to... I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been to 16th birthday parties before. Ellie's been to 16th birthday parties before. People do make a big deal of it. And I feel for Lexi, we'd not been able to kind of do that. But in the same breath, she knew. She'd obviously known for a long time that this was how it's going to be. Andy's birthday's in May. She's under the same impression that there's not going to be a great deal to do, but they're happy with it. They're happy with what they've been up to, what we're going to do, what's the plan is. So it's been all right. Did you have big birthdays when you was a kid?
Yeah, did you have at Vikings?
Yes, I did. Was that your 16th?
Yeah. And then I had my 18th. No, that was my 18th at Vikings. My 16th I had at Lowther in that nightclub.
Yeah.
Which then meant I couldn't get in the nightclub thereafter for the next 2 years. Well played, mother. Well played.
Yeah, come to your 18th.
Yeah, 18th was at Vikings. That was good. That was a good shindig. So speaking of Lexi 16th, how did the deal or no deal go?
It was good. It was good. I mean, for anybody that's seen the program Deal or No Deal, there's an array of people. They all have a red box, and you kind of choose a box, and each box has got a monetary value in. So you open the box up, and it's 250 grand, right? You've lost that. Next one. And this program goes on for about half an hour. It literally needs to be about 5 minutes. Just go 2, 6, 9, boom, open yours and see what we want. So it didn't last very long, but it was really good. So basically, how it worked, we had 12 boxes with monetary values from 1p, 2p, 5p, all the way up to £50. So she had an opportunity to win up to £50. So she chose her box. That was it. Then she went through the other boxes, picked them out one by one, and you could see, obviously, the values disappear through the time. And then every sort of 3 boxes, I gave her an offer of what potentially was still left on the table. Each time she rejected it, got right to the end. I think with about 4 or 5 boxes to go, the £50 came out. So she'd lost the £50. She was down to 2 boxes. I think it was £10 and £1. So again, if you've seen the program, the banker rings. I think after £3 at the time, she rejected that. She wanted to stick with her box. Her box was for £1. So it was a great game to play. It was really, really good, really fun, and I paid her up, paid £1 up.
Well, I'm gonna do this for next sets of birthdays all day long. I think it's just such a good thing to do and fun thing to do. Did you put the money into the boxes then, or was it just like on the paper and then you pay up after?
No, so I just wrote down the prices on paper, and they went in the boxes, and then obviously whichever one she pulled out. But the thing was, so Andy sort of helped me set it up, but we didn't know what money was in each box. So it was a huge surprise for everybody, really. But it was just really, really good fun. Really simple game. I mean, you could do it with all sorts. You could do it with presents and things like that. You could do it with days out if you wanted to do, write loads of days out down, and whichever one you pick, that's where you'll go. I think there's so much, good stuff to do, and yeah, it went down really, really well. I was really pleased with it.
I was looking forward to it when you said you were going to do it. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see how this goes. I'm going to steal it, mate. I'm telling you right now, I'm stealing it.
Have it. You can have it. It's a good one. I'm sure I stole it from somewhere.
Yeah, deal on it.
Yeah. I should have trimmed my beard into like a little Noel Edmonds.
Right then, Andy, what have you learned this week?
So this week, I don't want to talk too soon, but it's obviously, this goes out on Thursday, whenever you're listening to this, after Thursday. But I started a new job on Monday. So I'm hoping by this coming out on Thursday, I've still got that job. But again, for me, I've been a bit deep this week, but it's just been positive, just sticking in there, knowing what you're worth, and yeah, being positive. I'm being positive this week, and I think it started really well at the start of the week, because obviously we had the announcement from Boris, and you can sort of see a light towards the end of this tunnel that we've been in for the last year, really. So I'm hoping that with that work, the sun's been shining over the last couple of days. Let's just try and get through this for these last few months. Let's just be sensible, and let's really have a really good summer. What have you learned this week, mate?
So I've learned that I still got my childlike, cat-like reflexes. Still got it. What was we talking about earlier on about the mess that the new builders of the town have made of the streets, haven't we?
Yeah.
So walking home from earlier on our conversation, and I was watching where I was going, but I wasn't really watching where I was going. And there's loads of like boards on the floor where they've cut channels out, but they've put like blue and yellow boards on. And I stood on one of the boards. I've been meaning not to stand on them, because I know if they give way, I could fall over. And I stood on one right at the end, and my foot sort of went down, but sort of thingy. And if I want quick and agility on me, I'd have fallen over. But I stumbled, but then hopped, nearly did a forward roll, but kept my balance and then carried on going. So I was quite pleased that I still got it. And I can still move with the best of them. Because being anybody else, I'd been on floor.
I would have loved it if you could have done that and gone into a full like cartwheel.
And then just go like, da-da, and finished. But yeah, I genuinely surprised myself, because as I knew I was going to fall, and I sort of like then didn't fall. So I was actually quite surprised that I didn't fall at the time, because when you're going to fall, like it's happening, it's like, oh, I'm off down here. But I somehow managed to keep my feet up. Get up to my feet. Kid didn't bat an eyelid though. Didn't like bring it, like just carried on walking. I'm like, didn't you see me fall over? And I was like, no.
And to be fair, you are genuinely the most clumsiest person I know. You could trip over a feather and probably smash your head on a wall or something ridiculous. Do you know what the good thing about that is? Is that obviously we're getting to a certain age and we can't do things that we could do 10 years ago. Our body just won't allow it. But sometimes, and this probably comes back to our small victories, is that something like that happens and you just go, yeah, I still got it. Like, yes. I get that every day when I can stand up and put my socks on without falling over.
Well, it's funny because last month or two, getting up off settee's been an effort. I'm going, oh God, my leg is hurt. Or I'm like, rock once, rock twice, and we're up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, today I proved I'm still a young man, because most olders would have been face down, teeth out, all on the floor. Still got it.
Right. So next week, we are back next week. Next week's topic, we are going to talk about lying and fibbing. Was that what you call it? fibbing? Would you call?
Yeah, I'd say a white lie.
So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about when is a good time, or when is it appropriate to tell fibs and lies? When is it always true to tell lies? Should we always tell the truth? So that's what we're going to talk about next week. If anybody wants to get involved, anybody got any opinions on this, then just email us on dadtales@outlook.com. Follow us on any of our socials, get involved, and we'll have this chat next week. It's going to be interesting. Let's do it. Right, my friend, I will see you next week, bright and early. Keep yourself smiling.
You too, mate. Have a good week. Stay safe.
You too. Thank you for listening right to the end of this week's podcast, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at dad_tales_, or get involved by emailing us at dadtales@outlook.com. You can also now join our Facebook page by searching Dad Tales.
Keep the feedback coming. We are genuinely humbled by all the input and the comments you are providing us. Stay safe, celebrate small victories, and keep smiling.